Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Advanced Yugioh, where I, Riku, play competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! On Dueling Book Ranked. Today, we are playing Fiendsmith Evil Twin. Now this is a deck that some of you may be familiar with, especially given how well it's been doing lately. Fiendsmith Evil Twin is a mid-range deck that aims to either set up a decently large board on the play, with handtrap insulation from Live Twin Lula Suite and Evil Twin Kiss a Kill Deal, as well as, of course, the one of Called By and Crossout Designator, or aims to be a disruptive, non-engine focused shell that cracks a board and punches through for lethal with the incredible OTK power of Evil Twin Trouble's Sunny and Fiendsmith's Agnum Day. The deck largely revolves around the Evil Twin engine, with its ability to spit out tons of link material basically for free, as well as getting 2 Light Fiends into rotation as part of the mainline combo, which is useful for the second engine, our Fiendsmith engine. Everyone here should be familiar with Fiendsmith, but if you're not, here's the gist. You take any Light Fiend, in this case Evil Twin Kiss a Kill, and make Fiendsmith's Requiem, which you then sack off to summon Lacrima to get you into your line that ends on, depending on the board, a Desiree equipped with either Agnum Day or Sequence, and if you've got the Sequence, you have had enough material to be able to go into a Boa Coup, in addition to the rest of your end board. Some individual chart cards of note. We're only on one apiece of Nibiru and Ghost Belle. I'm not a big fan of Nibiru in this format. It's super powerful against Ryzeal, but a lot of decks can just take advantage of the token and keep playing through beyond that, and then you've put an idiot on your own board for no reason. But it can be really devastating to the mainline combo if you don't have as much extension as you would like. Same goes for Ghost Belle. I am really not a big fan of Ghost Belle in the current format. However, this does stop the entire mainline combo in its tracks, so we do want to have a copy of it in the main to be able to call with the Crossout Designator. Also of note, we've got 3 Droll and Lockbird in the main. I just think that this is way too powerful to be sitting in the sideboard. It is devastating to almost every deck in the format right now, and having it in game 1 when your opponent probably doesn't have it in their main to call it with a Crossout Designator is really powerful, and it can let you steal some wins on the draw that you might otherwise have lost. As for the side, it's pretty easy, pretty standard stuff. We've got 3 Artifact Lancia to beat up on Malice. We've got Feather Duster and Lightning Storm as thrust targets. We've got 2 Shared Ride. These could be mistaken arrest, but I prefer drawing cards because of the density of non-engine in this deck. We've got 2 SCMR, or Spell Card, Monster Reborn, which beats up on Mitsurugi. We've got 3 Triple Tactics Thrust, because it's thrust and this card is nuts. We've got 1 apiece of Dimensional Barrier, Mischief of the Gnomes, and Simul Archfiends to lock our opponent out of the game off of a thrust. Dimensional Barrier, of course, beats everything that isn't named Malice. Mischief of the Gnomes completely demolishes Ryzeal with its ability to reduce all of the monsters in their hands level by 1, and then even after they tutor for some more extension, you can just banish it from the graveyard and do it again. Simul Archfiends is there for a similar reason. Ooh, try saying that 10 times fast. It lets you stop everything in its tracks as soon as they summon a monster. So if Malice gets to a Link 1, or even just a Link 2, whatever it is, you activate Simul Archfiends and they've been locked out of playing the game. And largely the same is true of Ryzeal, and even the Mitsurugi deck, if they get only 1 ritual out, being able to flip up the Simul Archfiends so that they can't make a bigger board is really nice. As for the extra deck, there's some interesting choices here. We've got 2 apiece of Lilla and Kiss a Kill, which is not standard, but I'm a coward, and I don't want to lose in the grind game. And also, they're nice to look at, and having more fusions I haven't found to be particularly useful. Like, yes, you technically can have Aerial Eater or Duke of Demise come up in niche scenarios with Fiendsmith Sequence, but those are so few and far between, and I think having access to the extended grind game afforded by having 2 apiece of Kiss a Kill and Lilla is much more powerful, and it means that you don't just lose to a single Bystial on either of your pieces. We're also on a Chaos Angel, which with Lacrima and one of your Bystials is just absolutely disgusting. We've got DDD Wave High King Caesar. This isn't usually what you're going into, but if your hand only sees Fiendsmith, this is way more powerful than just ending on a Desiree. So we've got that going for us. We're playing the Agnum Day because this is part of the mainline combo that lets us Mulch Army on our opponent's turn after we've already built our whole board, which is absolutely disgusting. Then, of course, we've got the Muckraker, which is part of the secondary combo that lets us go into a Boa Coup. In the main, we're playing 2 Lilith Suite. I think this card is really powerful, and you kind of want to open a copy of it as protection, but you also need to have a copy to be able to send to the graveyard off of your Evil Twin Kill deal. So we're playing 2 copies of it. It's a ratio that I'm toying around with. Most people are only playing 1, and it should maybe only be 1, but I like having multiple copies of it for that reason. We're playing Secret Password instead of Signet Mining because I think discarding is just not a great idea, and it makes us lose a little bit harder to Droll because obviously we're tutoring and then we're trying to tutor again, but that's going to happen in this deck either way, so having 3 more copies of Sunny's Snitch specifically is really powerful. And Sunny's Snitch has the really weird draining effect on it, which can come up sometimes. A lot of the decks in the current format summon a lot of times. This thing can gain you upwards of 2,000-3,000 life points in a single turn, which can be the difference between your opponent being able to OTK you or not. So, with that out of the way, let's get into some games. Alright, and welcome to round 1. Looks like we are on the play, which is exactly where we want to be. Opponent's on 41, we've got our 42. Opening hand looks pretty powerful. Opening shoot. In the draw phase, yeah, Fuelos is fine. That's fine. That's really irritating. I think in this case, that means we probably want to go for just the Fiendsmith line, because I believe that uses fewer extra deck summons than going for the twin line. So we'll lead on Tract. If this gets ashed, that's not a big deal. Okay, so we'll go Tract. Tract is going to pick us up a copy of... Where is our little dude? Where's our guy? This is why I don't like Dueling Book. I forgot to put it in... Okay. I forgot to put it in the freaking deck. Well, that's a little unfortunate. In that case, we're going to have to activate Secret Password. Yeah, okay. Since our opponent is ashing that, I think we're just going to have to pass the turn here. And we're going to hope that the Fuelos in their draw phase is good enough. Wow, our opponent is on the exact same deck. Let me think here. This could be bait. I don't know that we want to imperm this. I think, in fact, we don't. That's fine. Yeah, we'll let that go through. And our opponent will summon out a live twin, and we will draw a card off of the Fuelos. Interesting. Summoning actual Lilla. Sure. Okay, this tells me that they've got a Lilla Suite in their hand. Drawing the Sunny Snitch is not exactly where I want to be. But, you know, it happens. I think our opponent is deciding if they want to go for Kill Deal or not. Setting 1. What are we setting for? That's interesting. So it's an interesting choice whether or not to go for the Kill Deal, because on the one hand, it does provide them a little bit of extra insulation with some card draw if I have interaction. But on the other hand, it does give me a free draw of a Fuelos, which is probably not really where they want to be. Yeah, as suspected. Oh, whoa, that's weird. Going for SP. Okay, yeah, sure. That's a really interesting choice. Okay, going straight to the battle phase. We'll take our 1600 beats. And then move into main 2. Okay. Alright, so our opponent has shown us that SP Little Knight is their entire plan. Do they have anything in draw or standby? Nope, we're good. Alright. Let's go for a Sunny Snitch. Sunny Snitch is going to tutor us a copy of... I think we want to grab Live Twin Lilla, actually. We'll grab Lilla. And then we'll go normal summon Lilla effect. Is this going to be met with an imperm or not? Do they care? Do they think we have the Kiss Kill Frost? Ooh, I was right on the Lilith Sweet. Sure. That's fine. Because we have the Kiss Kill Frost anyway, and it does not matter. So we'll go Frost for the Kiss Kill deal. We'll go deal, dump. This is probably wrong. Dump Sweet. Does dump for cost, which is really powerful and a little bit stupid. Yes, those both get banished. Oh, and now I don't have a Kiss-a-Kill on board, and I don't have a Light Fiend in graveyard. I have some... I do have another tutor target for Engraver, though. So we will Engraver. Engraver is going to add us the unfortunate Fiendsmith in Paradise. I will activate the Engraver out of the graveyard. This goes in graveyard. This does get shuffled for cost. Always hard to remember what things are getting shuffled for cost and what things are not. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty rough. Okay. We have already used our normal summon. We are punching for 5. Yep. We are going to set 1, end phase. We get our Kiss-a-Kill deal back. They get back the SP Little Knight, and we're going to pass the turn there. Let's see. What have they got? If it's anything particularly powerful, we are totally screwed. If not, we might be fine. The SP Little Knight is going to be really annoying. Ooh, that's strong. Yep. That sure is Kiss-a-Kill Frost. Alright, they're going to link off the Frost for the Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill deal. What are they dumping for cost? They're probably dumping... Oh, they're dumping Lilla Treat. Whoa. I think here... Do I want to imperm this or Veiler this or something? I think I want to... Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. We're gonna imperm the Kiss-a-Kill deal. I know that doesn't do everything I want it to. Yeah. So we're gonna imperm the Kiss-a-Kill deal. When opponent activates a card or effect. Yep, okay, so they will not be getting any draws off of that, which is important because we've got this Veiler in hand. Yes, Sweet is fine. They will be summoning Lilla's Sweet and then linking those two off for probably Lilla? That would make the most sense, because that would theoretically let them clear the largest portion of the board. Should our opponent be... You should be taking 200 per summon. So that should be another 600 life points for us. Is the third summon. So 600 total. Opponent's just asking some clarifying questions because we both completely forgot about the Live Twin Sunny Snitch, but it is completely mandatory. It just happens. Frost Sweet deal wreck. Yeah. Okay, so we'll gain another 200. I had the numbers wrong as well, so that's fine. Alright, well they're gonna link off for Requiem, which I suppose makes sense. That plays around the most stuff. Yep. Requiem is fine. Opponent is going to summon, I would assume, a Lacrima. And this Lacrima is going to eat a Veiler. We are going to Veiler your Lacrima. Yep. Okay. From here, it's still not looking great for us. Our opponent should link these two off to make Evil Twin Lilla, and then Lilla can summon back a Kiss-a-Kill, and they can make more things be happening. Yep, that happens. They know what the last card in hand is. Yep, that's fine. Gain another 200, and then we'll gain 200 off of this one. Summoning the Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill. Yep. So this is the power I was talking about with the Sunny Snitch. It lets us do basically nothing and still be doing some really powerful stuff. So we'll gain another 200. We are all the way back up to full. Yep, they will activate Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill to summon Evil Twin Lilla. We will gain 200. They will lose 200. They will Lilla, targeting the Sunny Snitch. Yep, goodbye, Sunny Snitch. Gained us a ton of life points, though. Really powerful stuff to be gaining that many life points off of just one stupid card because we have a Kiss-a-Kill deal on board. I believe our opponent is in the clear now, unfortunately. Yeah, they're gonna go for Troubles Sunny, and that should probably be all she wrote. They may need to link off their SP Little Knight in order to do everything they want to, but they're getting another draw. They have access to sequence if that's what they want. If they top deck into Engraver, they've got the entire Fiendsmith line very easily. There's a lot they can do here. It is interesting to immediately pop the Trouble Sunny, though. So we'll see what our opponent attacks in. So we will take 600, and our opponent pay 500 to attack that time. So, of course, the flavor text on Live Twin Lilla coming up there. Pay 500. They've never read Lilla. Taxes you to attack. I love when random niche effects my opponent has never thought of before. They have never seen that before in their life. Never before. There. Okay, so they're new to the deck. That's really funny, though. And we will take the 1600 off of SP. We're going to take a top deck and see where we are from there. And probably be dead, because we didn't put a freaking Lurrie in our deck. We're going to go back and fix that between matches. Ah, right, yeah, a Boaku. Of course. Sure. The Boaku will pitch the Crossout to summon back Trouble Sunny, and it will be banished temporarily, but that doesn't mean anything. So, yep. We are totally screwed. Our opponent has 3 points of removal, kind of no matter what we top deck. Yep, okay. Even with the Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill, we are completely boned. Alright, this is a case, we want Simul Archfiends, we almost certainly want the thrusts in the main. Easy to side out the Fool losses. I don't think our opponent is going to Nibiru us, because Nibiru is not generally super effective against what the Live Twin cards are doing. Is there anything else that we want here? Lancia doesn't matter, except in, like, edge cases with a Boaku, and I don't think that that's important enough. SCMR is funny, but I don't think we really want it. Like, yeah, stealing our opponent's Lilla is kind of, well, okay. Because we're on the play, I think it's reasonable to play SCMR. We got to keep the Ghost Spells in. I like the Bystials. We're going to thin a couple of Drolls, I think. Yeah, we'll do that. Yep, and we are back on the play. Let's hope we can do a little bit better and we open a little bit better of a hand this time. Ooh, this hand kicks. DP standby? Is that alright? No Mulch Army? Fualas. Called by. I love this stupid minigame! But what's really funny is it means that our opponent is completely and utterly boned. Alright. We are going to normal summon Live Twin Kiss a Kill. Kiss a Kill effect. Yep. I love that because of the nope, that's the wrong one. We want to summon Live Twin Lilla. Alright, let's link off the Kiss a Kill for the Evil Twin Kiss a Kill deal. And then we will go Kiss a Kill deal, dumping the Lilla Suite. Okay. Looks like our opponent doesn't have anything else going on right now, which is good news for us. Alright, we will link those two off for Evil Twin Kiss a Kill, and we will go Evil Twin Kiss a Kill effect. Yep, that just works. Okay. We will summon back the Lilla. We will link those two off for Evil Twin Lilla. And then Evil Twin Lilla will trigger. Well, activate is more the correct term, but potato. We will summon the Kiss a Kill, and the Kiss a Kill will draw us a card. If our opponent is chill with that. Yep. Oh, that's a really, really unfortunate top deck. Alright, I think we want to link these two off, make the Trouble Sunny, and then we will go Trouble Sunny effect, summon them both back. Ooh, uh-oh. This could get a little bit hairy right here, exactly. Opponent has DD Crow. Target? The correct choice is to target the Kiss a Kill? Yeah. Yeah, we will lose Kiss a Kill, so we will summon back Lilla and Kiss a Kill deal. So we're down a Light Fiend. We're down a Link material as well, probably. I think we gotta think here. So from here, we can just link off the deal to make Requiem, or we can link both off to make Kiss a Kill so that we've got both in rotation. But it doesn't matter because what's important off of Trouble Sunny is the pop with Lilla. So I think we're probably just encouraged to go for Requiem right here. So this Requiem is going to be a little bit sad because we have to summon the Lacrima from hand. Ash Blossom. Rough stuff. Okay. Well, in that case, let's spec out this Lilla Frost from hand. Let's link them both off for Evil Twin Kiss a Kill? I believe that's what we want to be doing here. We could go for Muckraker. You can target a fiend in your graveyard, pitch a card, and if you do, special summon that monster. Also, you are locked into fiends. So we could link these two off for Kiss a Kill and Sunny's Snitch. Are we playing the other Lilla? No, we're not. Have we summoned back Sweet? I have not. Yeah, okay. We have not summoned back Sweet, so we actually have a lot more Link material than I thought we did. Okay, so we're gonna go Sweet effect to special summon. This deck just gets to generate silly amounts of Link material and card advantage, basically for free. Okay, here I think we go Evil Twin Kiss a Kill into a Boaku. So we'll link those two off for Kiss a Kill, just so that she's back online. And then we'll link Kiss a Kill and Lila off for a Boaku. We'll go a Bow Aku effect ditching this Lacrima. So we will banish this, summon back the Troubles Sunny. We will activate Thrust. Thrust is going to set from deck the Simul Archfiends. And then I think we want to go for the Sunny Snitch to tutor. Because we're going to have to discard whatever card we grab, and I would rather have Sunny Snitch online and be able to pitch another Kill Frost than be stuck pitching the Sunny Snitch for the Aboaku. Aboaku is such a nutso card, by the way. Has our opponent replied to our request to end main? It does not look like it, but they are responding a little bit slowly, so we will just go, summon the Aboaku, and pass the turn. Let's see if our opponent can beat this with a 3-card hand. Okay. DP standby is fine. Let's see if they can beat this board, because we've got a draw off of Troubles Sunny, a pop off of Troubles Sunny, a pop off of Aboaku, Simul Archfiends to lock them out of summoning Link monsters, and the Kill Frost in the graveyard to draw yet another card if they tutor. Which, you know, pretty powerful set of things to be doing. The question here becomes, how aggressively do I want to pop a Sunny Snitch? Yes, thumbs up. Kill. Kill effect. That is fine. I will gain my 200. They will summon a live twin Lilla, and I will gain another 200. Think here. So I have the option to Trouble Sunny to pop the Kill, draw a card, and then a Aboaku after I've drawn a card to destroy the Lilla so that they could not possibly have drawn anything. I think I like that. Yeah, we'll go for Trouble Sunny. Our opponent is going to Ghost Belle there. Sure. Okay. On res. Yeah, I'm gonna Aboaku on res to pop. And we will get rid of the Kill. Let's see if our opponent can continue to play from here. It also doesn't matter. They summon a Link monster, and we go Simul Archfiends, and they're boned. So, they're going to set one. That's probably an Imperm. End phase, that is fine. I do not believe I have any effects. Yep. Alright. Draw for turn. DP standby. It should probably be alright. Yep. Okay. This is a during the main phase effect. Does it matter? Okay. We are going to end main. Yep. Go to combat and punch the Lilla, paying our 5. Yep. That destroys the Lilla. Truly the most powerful effect there. I do believe we want to Aboaku. I think that's more powerful than the Ash Blossom. To summon. They are going to called by our Troubles. Our Troubles Sunny. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. And and if you do, special summon a light or dark monster from your graveyard. So this is going to special summon us a Live Twin Lilla, which can trigger, because I don't control any monsters anymore. So this is going to grab us a Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill. From here, we can link these two off into the other Evil Twin Lilla. See, our extra copies of Kiss-a-Kill and Lilla are coming in hugely clutch here. Is Dueling Book going to work? And we're lagging. Okay. Let's see the draw. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Our opponent was just drawing to see what they would top deck. Yeah, I just kind of had everything there. Alright, on the draw, we are taking out the Thrust package. We are putting in our main deck hate pieces. We're taking out the SCMRs. Do I want Bystials? I think I do want Bystials. Do I want... I do need the Thrusts. I think we can pull the Crossout Designator and the... Honestly, Tract might just be worth cutting because we don't have the correct target for it. So yeah, we'll go there. We're on the draw. Let's see how it goes. Our opponent appears to be playing the stock list. DP, we are going to Fuelos. Isn't this such a fun game? And our opponent has the Ash Blossom. Sure. Yep. I mean, that makes sense. We basically just confiscated our opponent. So, that's fine. Ooh, they are playing the Secret Password. Yes, Secret Password will grab them the Sunny Snitch, which will tutor them Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill. Either normal Kiss-a-Kill or Kiss-a-Kill Frost, depending on what they want to be playing around. Or playing towards, I suppose. They will activate the Sunny Snitch. Sunny Snitch will tutor. That is fine. You basically never want to ash this Secret Password. It's tutoring Sunny Snitch, which is tutoring another card, and this is the thing that you want to be ashing, if anything, because if they happen to have opened Secret Password and Sunny Snitch, they will Secret Password first, just in case you want to shotgun the Ash Blossom. Our opponent is tutoring a Live Twin Lilla. I suppose that makes sense. Okay, normal summon Frost. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So they're going to link off the Frost for... Let's see it. What are we summoning? Kiss-a-Kill Deal. Yep, that makes sense. Kiss-a-Kill Deal is fine. On res, before they have the opportunity to activate the suite, target suite. Hopefully this just collapses the entire engine and they don't have access to everything they want to, but I think the tutoring for Live Twin Lilla and not Live Twin Lilla Treat, which they have shown us that they are playing, means that they probably already opened the Treat? Yeah, they don't know why they added the Lilla. Fair. Engraver is fine. So our opponent is going to add Tract, and they are going to have remembered to add the Lurrie. So, yeah, okay. Yep, Tract is fine. They're going to do the Lurrie shuffle, tutor Lurrie, discard Lurrie, trigger Lurrie, Lurrie summon back. Almost certainly. And then, but of course, they still have to link off the Kiss-a-Kill Deal. So, I don't know. It's an interesting choice to do it, and I guess it gets another Engraver in rotation, which can be important, but I'm not sure how important it is. Okay, 1 second. Yes, that's fine. You may have a moment. Yeah, I can't believe we forgot to put the copy of Lurrie in the deck. Our opponent has said 1 second. They probably need to step away. They maybe need to answer a phone or open the door. Okay, they're back. Take the moment to take a sip of water. Get yourself a snack. Take care of yourself. And it looks like our opponent may also have forgotten to put Lurrie in their deck. Oh, they misclicked and cited Lurrie. Oof. That sucks. Okay, well, so they're probably just, in this case, tutoring for another engraver and pitching the engraver? Question mark? Yep, pitching the engraver. It ultimately probably doesn't matter too much. I'm not really sure why they're going for engraver here. I mean, yeah. Like, you can do that, but you already have the link material on board to make your Requiem, and Requiem can summon the... Oh, they're linking too. To summon Evil Twin Yugioh? You don't have a Lilla in graveyard. Why did you do all that? Yeah. Okay, so that was a brutal series of misplays from our opponent. Not really our win, for sure. But, you know, ultimately that is part of the game. If your opponent misplays and just continues to do so, that is part of how you win. That's the angle you're shooting for when you're playing a deck like this. You kind of are just trying to throw out a whole bunch of crap and hope that your opponent trips on some of it, and maybe it trips up something in their brain as well. So, alright, well, that was match 1, thank you. And let's move on to the next match. Hey everyone, in between games right now, but I wanted to show that I did in fact remember to add the Lurrie into the deck. So we're on 43 cards now, we've got the Lurrie in the deck. We will no longer have mishaps with Fiendsmith's Tract, where we do not have a reasonable thing to target for, a reasonable thing to tutor for, to fetch with the Tract. So, don't forget your Lurries, kids. Double check your lists. Make sure other people are looking at your lists. Always a good idea. And let's go on to match 2. Alrighty, everyone. Hello and welcome to round 2 of this. Looks like we will be on the draw this time. Opponent is playing 40 cards. We have got our 43. And of course we open the freaking Lurrie. Well, our opening hand is not bad, in spite of that. Ashoka Pillar. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see what they're tutoring. I assume this is Mikanko. Yeah. So, this Droll and Lockbird is probably going to be pretty nasty. It means that our Magnamhut is not good, but that's fine. It doesn't really matter. So, let's see what they do from here. I don't actually know what Mikanko does. I don't even remember if Bystials do anything to the Mikanko deck. But, yeah. Hopefully they can't pull up too much. Yeah, Water Arabesque is fine. Yep, so Water Arabesque will E-Telly and bounce the Ashoka Pillar. Really powerful interaction there. They'll grab Huli. This will equip to the Huli. The Huli would normally trigger to tutor for a Mikanko trap, but of course, that is not an option for them. Alright, draw for turn. Let's see, do they have anything in draw or standby? Nope, we are all good to go. Alright, well, let's lead on Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill and trigger her effect. Kiss-a-Kill will summon out the Live Twin Lilla. We will link off the Kiss-a-Kill for Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill Deal. If our opponent has anything here, they should probably use it. Nope? Okay. So we will go Kiss-a-Kill Deal to dump the Lilla Suite. Do you have any responses? Are you gonna do anything? No, you're just gonna sit there quietly. When you are playing a manual sim, respond to your opponent. Alright, let's lead on Evil Twin Lilla and go from there. And we will activate the Lilla effect. And we're going to sit and we're going to wait again. Okay. Our opponent appears to be alive once again. And then we will link these two off to make Evil Twin Kiss a Kill. If Dueling Book would stop lagging. Yep, okay. And then we will go Evil Twin Kiss a Kill to special summon a Leela. We will summon back Evil Twin Leela. And we will trigger the effect of the Leela targeting their middle back row. That was a Kagura. Interesting choice to set that. Alright, I think we link these two off. We make Trouble Sunny. Yep, okay. So we'll go Bam and Bam. Make Evil Twin Troubles Sunny. Trouble Sunny effect. Sack it off. To summon back the Kiss a Kill and the Leela, which I'm going to assume is fine at this point. And trigger Kiss a Kill to draw a card. Yep, our opponent has had enough. We would have found lethal really easily. We had a line right there. Alright, on the draw, this deck is really weak to Duster, as far as I can tell. I don't think they care about SCMR. They probably don't care about Shared Ride. They definitely care about Droll and Lockbird. We are on the draw, so we want the Fuelos in. Valor is probably pretty good. We just really don't have anything we want to be siding at. Well, okay. So we've got the two Bystials. We can probably afford to side out Triple Tack and Fiendsmith in Paradise, and I suppose we can side out Crossout as well. They do not go through Nibiru levels of summons, so we will put a Triple Tack in there. Alright, once again, on the draw, will we open enough nonengine? Well, this is a disgustingly powerful hand. Yep, okay. So our opponent is gonna get started here, move to their main phase. Let's see what they're opening with. They are opening with Ashoka Pillar again. That's fine. I don't care about Ashoka Pillar here, because I, once again, have opened the Droll and Lockbird. My apologies, opponent. I have just opened the nuts. Nothing really to be done about it. Yeah, okay, so that's a really unfortunate game to have happen. Sometimes that's just how it goes. There's not really much to be done about it. That is just how Yu-Gi-Oh! Is sometimes. Our opponent is playing, admittedly, a pretty terrible deck. I couldn't tell you if it's been seeing any play whatsoever lately, but, I mean, the deck just does hard die to Droll and Lockbird, as we've seen. So, you know, them's the breaks. We opened a good hand. We had 4 pieces of non-engine and a starter, so what else to be done? I will see you all in the final round. Hello, and welcome to round 3 of 3. Looks like we'll be on the play this time, winning the RPS, so let's go first. See how things end up going. Ooh, we've opened a pretty good hand. Standby? Let's hope our opponent doesn't have a Molcharmy. It doesn't look like they do. Okay, cool. Alright, so we can go normal Kiss a Kill Frost, or we can go Sunny Snitch, Tutor, Live Twin, Lilla to, yeah, let's do that, yeah. Sunny Snitch, and this might fiend out an Ash Blossom, which would be huge. Okay, it did not, which is fine. We are going to grab Live Twin Lilla, which should tell our opponent that we have opened the Kiss a Kill Frost, but if our opponent's not super keyed in on what this deck is doing, they may not be aware. So they might waste an Imperm or a Valor or something here. They did not. Okay, so from here it is still correct to summon Kiss a Kill Frost. And then we will link off the Kiss a Kill Frost for Evil Twin Kiss a Kill Deal. Alright, and then we will activate Deal, dumping the Lilla Suite. If our opponent would like to respond, this is probably their last real opportunity in which to do so. Yep, okay. Because beyond this point, there is not much for them to do. Alright, let's link those two off, make Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill. And then we will go Evil Twin Kiss-a-Kill effect. Now, an imperm here would be pretty devastating. We don't really have a way of extending beyond from here. So let's summon back the Lilla Suite. And then we will link these two off for the Evil Twin Lilla, as we have done before. And then Evil Twin Lilla will summon back the Kiss-a-Kill, which will draw us a card. Let's see what we top deck. What's going on here? Okay, Live Twin Kiss-a-Kill. Nothing particularly big or flashy. We will link these two off, make Trouble's Sunny. We'll go Trouble's Sunny effect to summon them both back. We will summon back Lilla, summon back Kiss-a-Kill. No Lilla effect. We will link off Kiss-a-Kill for Requiem. And then we will go Requiem effect. Ash there. Sure. Okay, that's a little annoying. Okay, so we're gonna summon this Kiss-a-Kill Frost. We're gonna link these two. We're gonna activate Lilla Suite to special summon. Yep. Our opponent seems to have never read this deck before. Is that going to be all right? I'm assuming it's going to be. Most people aren't really maining Ghost Belle. Or not. Is it Ghost Belle? Yeah, Ghost Belle and Haunted Mansion. Yep, alright. We will summon back the Lilla Suite. We will link all three of them off into a Bow Aku. We will go a Bow Aku, pitch to banish and summon. Yep, okay, so we will banish a Bow Aku. We will get back the Evil Twins Trouble's Sunny. Let's... Ah, shit! This is the problem with manual sims. Whoops. Okay, so we will set the imperm. Cool beans. Okay, our opponent says that they haven't seen it, which doesn't mean anything, but, you know, it is relieving on some level. The question here is, do I want the Magnamhut on board already? And I think the answer is no, because we're not tutoring anything, like, we're just tutoring a Druiswurm, and that doesn't matter as much as we would like, so... Alright. End main? Is our opponent going to be chill? Do they have the Nibiru? Do they have the Nibiru? Alright, we'll move to the end step, get back our Bow Aku, and pass the turn. We do not have any clue what our opponent is up to right now, so it's hard to say where our interaction points are going to go, but we do have at least 4, possibly 5 points of interaction, possibly even 6 depending on what we draw off of the Trouble's Sunny, summoning back the Kiss-a-Kill. So, we will see. Let's have opponents thinking in draw phase. See what they're going to do here. Looking at what we've got going on in our graveyard, it's not too much. We've got, you know, the Lilla Suite, which doesn't do anything. We've got the Kiss-a-Kill Frost, which will probably draw us a card at some point there. Imperm the Bow Aku. That is fine. Not super concerned about that. We're just trading 1 for 1 is totally fine here. Pot of Prosperity. How deep in on Prosp are you going? Uh-oh. Whoopsie. Okay, yeah, and once again, the faults of Dueling Book showing up, because Xtevin does not know what a decent server is. Alright. Oops. Opponent seems to have forgotten that it's /mil6, not mil6/. 1, 2. They're playing Kashtira. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. They're probably picking up a Wraithsoth here. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So things could get a little bit spicy here. Because Unicorn could be really bad for us. We are very thin on all of the names that we've got. Yes, Wraithsoth is fine. They are tutoring for Fenrir. Okay, that's fine. Special summon Fenrir. Yep, that's okay. Fenrir effect. We are going to Failure here because it is the narrower of the two cards. Okay, so we have Veiler to the Fenrir, and this is when it attacks. Regenesis code. Sure. I do not know what the Regenesis cards do. I know they're strong, but I have no clue what any of them do. I mean, I've read them, but I'm not entirely clear on what the lines are with them. Regenesis Archfiend. If this card is normal special summon, you can tutor for a Regenesis card. Let's say no to that. That is a level 8 monster. So we're going to Imperm. This column is the Imperm column, the one between Aboaku and Sunny's Snitch. And let's see what our opponent does from here. Let's see what our opponent is up to. They are thinking... I mean, yeah, we've had a pretty damn disruptive hand. We've had 2 Imperm style effects. We have Trouble Sunny. They had to Imperm the Aboaku. I suspect the Bystials are not going to be super powerful in this matchup, but of course, Magnamhut Tutor Druiswurm is still always a powerful play and can help us find lethal if that's what we're looking for. Interesting that they went for the Fenrir and not for Unicorn, because they might, if they have any other Regenesis cards in hand, I would assume that they're probably stuck in hand. So, yeah. Let's see what they do from here. There's a lot of stuff that they could do if they're playing a Fiendsmith engine, which I don't think Regenesis does. Ooh, Typhon. Typhon is really annoying. Yeah, Typhon is really, really bad. Okay. Yup. Typhon, spin the Troubles, Sunny. Battle phase is fine. We will take our 100 off of Aboaku. Are you gonna punch with Fenrir? Or that, yeah, that is 100. I don't think that they did already. I believe. Yes. Wait, I did miss a bit of damage. Monsters gain 100 and events for each different. Oh wait, no, that should be. Whoops. Yeah, sorry. I will take the 2600. So main 2 from our opponent. I totally forgot to use the Kissakill Frost in my graveyard after they tutored with Wraithsoth. That's a little bit bad. Regenesis. Take a... Yeah, that's fine. So they're gonna tutor for a Regenesis monster. They can't summon anymore. They're either tutoring or entombing a Regenesis. If they use the tutor effect, that's fine with me because then I get to draw a card off of Kissakill Frost. Yep. Draw a card. Drawing Lurrie is really not where I want to be. Do they have anything in their graveyard? Target my Baylor. That's fine. Banish that. Special summon. Declare the effect of Magnamhut. Tutor for the Druiswurm. Alright, and then we will draw for turn. DP standby. Main 1. Okay, so this Fenrir is gaining 200 attack, so it's a 2600. Do I have a way of... Can I get to Chaos Angel? I don't think I can. Can I get to Sequence? I can get to Sequence, but that doesn't matter, does it? It might. No, getting to Sequence doesn't matter. This is when your opponent activates a if your opponent activates a monster effect. So going for Muckraker doesn't matter. If I summon Kissakill, if I normal summon Kissakill, I can link off Kissakill and Magnamhut to summon Lilla to summon Kissakill from my extra deck. And then when I use the Kissakill effect to summon the Lilla, they will probably use Fenrir. Okay. Normal summon. Thinking on the normal summon. What do you have? On summon. What have you got? You can send a Regenesis monster from your graveyard and opponent controls, change it to face down defense position. This card is bullshit. We are probably going to lose because I didn't think about Typhon, so yeah, so this is going to get booked. What can we do from here? Requiem, you can target a light non-link fiend monster you control. Non-link, it has to be. We could summon Druiswurm here, but then Magnamhut or Druiswurm just gets banished. We don't have anything we can link the Druiswurm off for if they do banish the Magnamhut, so yeah, kind of looks like we're just dead. We had Lilith Sweep, but we can't get to another twin. Yep, okay. That's just it. Alright, on the play, what do we want here? I don't think any of this matters on the play. Like, I guess Lancia could be decent. We want to side out the Fuuloses. I think we just swap Fuulos for Thrust, and if our opponent interacts with us, we get to tutor for Imperm. So yeah, I think that's just about it. There's the thought to keep a Fuulos in to call with Crossout Designator, but I don't think that's where we want to be. Gonna be on the play again. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have as much interaction as they did the last time. I mean, they did literally just only have Ash Blossom, and we didn't have the correct things for it. This hand's interesting. DP standby. Our opponent says yes. Okay. Opening a Lurrie kind of blows, but it's whatever. Let's lead on secret password. Alright, this will grab us, if Dueling Book would stop lagging, the copy of Sunny Snitch. Alright, and then from there we will activate the Sunny Snitch to tutor for a twin. Yep, we will grab the... I think we just want to grab Physical Frost to minimize the number of things that we're losing to. So we'll grab Physical Frost. We maybe should have grabbed actual Kill. Normal summon. And then we will link off the Frost for the Evil Twin Kill deal. And then we will go deal effect, dumping Lilla Sweet. Opponent is thinking there. This is sort of the best place to interact if you don't want me to draw a ton of cards. Yes, sure. Imperm on Kill deal is fine. I wouldn't Called by the Grave. Yes, it sends its cost. So our opponent has just literally had enough from that point. And that is why I did not tutor for the Lilla, even though I could have, because then they impermed the Lilla, and I don't have any lines to do anything. Okay, so we're going to bring in Mulcharmies, Duster, I don't think Duster, Lightning Storm. We are going to cut Paradise, cross out the Ghost Belle, and a Veiler to swap those in, and we are done siding. Alright, so this will be our game on the draw in this matchup. We have opened extraordinarily well. Droll, Imperm, Lilla Sweet, Kill, and Thrust. Our opponent will be moving to main one. We do not have a Mulcharmy here. Let's see where they go. If they lead on a unicorn, we will be forced to imperm it, but that's kind of what you want to be imperming anyway, so no harm, no foul. Yep, they are leading on the imperm, or on the Kashtira unicorn. Unicorn is really quite problematic, so the imperm will be important for us to have. Yep. Alright, that is fine. Our opponent, do they have any follow-up? If they tutor, we'll Droll. If they don't, then yeah, we will see. We'll see where they end up. It's an interesting spot to be in, having the Kill and the Lilla Sweet. Does the Lilla Sweet destroy? I don't think it does. Negate that opponent's effect. Correct. It does not destroy, and it is not. It will not be in response. The Kashtira unicorn. Wraithsoth is fine. This is probably going to tutor them another unicorn to be able to reveal for their Regenesis cards. Ooh, tutoring the actual Fenrir. We are going to Droll and Lockbird there. That tells me that they maybe have Birth in hand, or if they don't, they have a way to get Fenrir on board, which is a little bit spooky. They're going to set one and pass the turn. Okay, love to see that. Top decking Druiswurm is not exactly where I want to be, but it could be worse. Druiswurm may let us remove some of our opponent's pieces off of the board, which would be nice. So let's lead on Live Twin Yugioh. Trigger the effect. And our opponent is thinking there. If they've got the Ash Blossom, we've got the Lilith Sweet to negate that. If they've got Imperm, that would kind of stink, because then this thrust isn't as powerful. Probably want to thrust for triple tack talent. They have Dragon's Mind. Okay. Yeah, sure. That card is horrifying. Anything on res? They should use the Unicorn here. Are they going to? Doesn't look like they are. Okay, that's quite interesting. So, here I have a couple of options. I can Druiswurm now to try and punch over the Unicorn. I think that's probably just correct. Target my Kill. Opponent is probably going to let that go through. They are thinking on that. They have a Ghost Belle. Interesting. Sure. Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to... yeah, you can Unicorn. What are you taking? What do they want to take? They can't take us off of twins, which is important, and that's part of why you play multiple, because Regenesis is good, and Regenesis plays Unicorn. So, let's see, what do they want gone? Evil Twin Link 1. That is gone. Kill deal is gone. That is banished face down. And then we will go for the triple tactics thrust. And off of the thrust, let's think. What are we tutoring? It is just tracked, isn't it? Yes, it is just tracked. Okay, we will grab tracked. That will go away. Do they have the Droll and Lockbird? Alright, we are going to tracked, tutor for Lurrie and discard it. And that triggers the mandatory effect of Lurrie to special summon itself. Special summon Lurrie, link Lurrie off for Requiem. Requiem for Lacrima. Lacrima dump Engraver. That is alright with our opponent. Yes. Okay. Okay, now the real question here is, what am I going for? Do I think Necroquip for DDD Wave Hiking Caesar is better? Do I think Chaos Angel is better? It's a light Chaos Angel, which is not particularly huge, but, I mean, that is powerful. Don't get me wrong. Well, either way, we are going Engraver, spin back, Lurrie. Okay. Think. So if we go for Chaos Angel, we punch for 35, we clear the Unicorn. And we have a thing that is unaffected by monster effects, and our opponent's only out is to make a monster that is somehow bigger than 3,500. Or we go Requiem equipped to Lacrima. think we actually want to go Requiem equip to Engraver. Engraver, pop the Requiem and their Unicorn, and then sync them off for the Chaos Angel, because then we have the Lacrima. Yeah, okay. We'll go Requiem to equip. Target that one. And then we will go Engraver, bam, bam. Both of those go away. So I do believe we are syncing off for Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel, banish Wraithsoth. We will go to the battle phase and punch in for 35. Opponent takes 35. We go to our second main. Do we have anything we want in the graveyard? No. We are going to pass the turn from there. Our opponent has a Kashtira Fenrir, one unknown, and a Dream. Well, I suppose it's two unknowns because they're top decking a card, but Fenrir plus two unknowns is not exactly the most powerful hand to have access to. They still do not have any lights or darks in graveyard, so the Druiswurm is sort of our only option. We do have the Lacrima in the graveyard, which can spin itself back to summon the Requiem, and the Requiem, sacks itself, summon the Lacrima, Lacrima, dump Fiendsmith in Paradise, effect to dump the Fiendsmith's Desiree. Opponent is leading on a Pressured Planet Wraithsoth. That is fine. You may have your tutor. Opponent is tutoring for a Unicorn once again. Think here. I think because they tutored Unicorn, we do have to Lacrima targeting Requiem now. Top deck this, spec out the Requiem, and then Requiem effect to special summon the Lacrima from deck, Lacrima effect to mill. Did we side out the Fiendsmith in Paradise? We did, right. Okay. Well, that did not do what I wanted it to. Ugh, why did we side the Paradise out? That was really stupid. That's alright. We've got Unicorn. They will Unicorn to tutor for a back row. They're gonna grab the Kashtira Birth. Birth will let them normal summon the Fenrir. They will summon the Fenrir. Fenrir will then be able to banish the Lacrima, which is why this play was really, really, really bad, because now we don't have Lacrima anymore. Which, like, okay, not the end of the world, but not exactly the spot you want to be in. Each different attribute on the field. So they're gaining 300 right now. That's 28. If they can get enough attributes and a big enough guy on board, they can, in fact, out my Chaos Angel. Yep, Birth is fine. I think you just normal summon the Fenrir, but I'm not really sure what you do from there, because there's, like, not actually that much going on that you have available to you. And then they have to decide if they want Unicorn to rip another card out of my extra deck, or if they want Fenrir to banish the Lacrima face down. which is an interesting decision point. I think it's almost always correct to punch with the Fenrir, because cutting me off of Lacrima cuts me off of a lot of advantage that I get just basically for free. And I've shown that I don't have the Fiendsmith in Paradise to be able to take advantage of cards in my extra deck as effectively, but we'll see. Chaos Angel, once again, showing up and being possibly one of the most disgustingly broken cards I've ever seen. Just unaffected 3,500 with the potential to be unkillable by battle is really insane. Our opponent is thinking, and it is a tough spot to be in. I don't envy their position at all, but I'm not really sure how they get out of this one. We've got 4 attributes on board, so they're gaining 400 attack. Battle phase. Okay. I forgot my... Did I forget? No, I did not forget Frost. Fenrir. Banish the Lacrima face down. Yep. Goodbye, Lacrima. No redeclare, obviously. I believe we... Okay, so they're going to go Birth to revive Unicorn. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. We are lagging a little bit, but that's kind of just the dueling book experience. End phase, they will pay 2,500 to reset the Dragon's Mind. That is certainly a choice that they made. Alright, draw for turn. DP's standby. Main one. Okay, so they've got double Unicorn, so I can't beat the Unicorn. Which means they are going to get to rip a card out of my extra deck. Guaranteed. I do still think that Engraver, spinning back Engraver, is correct. Let's see what they do here. Realistically, they shouldn't interact here. They should just let the Engraver be summoned. Trigger Fenrir, trigger Unicorn. So that they get just maximum value out of what they're doing. Ghost Belle? Sure. That's a really odd choice. Yeah. You can look at my extra deck. What do you want? What are we getting rid of? I'm assuming probably a Boaku at this point. Yep, that makes sense. Boaku is probably the most powerful card left in my extra deck. And I think we're just moving to end main? Yeah, so we're going to go to combat. We're going to punch Fenrir. Fenrir is gaining 300, so it's at 27, so they're taking 800. So they are at 1,200. We will go to post-combat main. So the problem with this Druiswurm, I can activate it, but I have to target either Engraver, Requiem, or Kiss-a-Kill. I can't target Kiss-a-Kill because that would be stupid. But it's what we have to do either way. So target Engraver. This is really interesting stuff. So they could go for the Dragon's Mind. So we're going to banish the Engraver. We're going to special summon the Druiswurm. We are going to normal summon the Lilla Sweet. We're going to link these two off into Evil Twin Lilla. We will Druiswurm targeting the unicorn. And then we're going to possibly force the trigger here. Force their hand on the dragon's mind, or whatever it's called. I believe that's what it's called. To negate. If they don't do that, we get to kiss a kill, and then we can summon Evil Kiss a Kill, trigger the... no, we probably don't want to trigger the Lilla Suite in our graveyard if they negate, just because we don't want to leave that hanging out on board for them to eat with Fenrir for free. Negate it and destroy. Alright, goodbye Lilla. And goodbye Dragon's Mind. We will set one. I do not believe we have anything we want to be doing from here. And we will pass the turn. Things have gotten quite spicy, I must say. Opponent will go, if you stand by. Yep, that is fine. We do not have anything we need to be doing in draw or standby. This deck is super interesting, the Regenesis deck, that is, because I kind of don't do much with the extra deck. Alright, we will imperm the unicorn to turn off their birth, and so that they're not just gaining card advantage for free. The unicorn cannot attack through the Chaos Angel, obviously, and now there's no reason to. Because they can't loop from my extra deck, so we'll see what happens. They're also really low on life points. If we ever stick an Evil Twin plus the Trouble Stunny, they probably don't get to do very much. They can special summon this. You can only use put an activates card or effect, and send another Regenesis from your hand or face up field to the graveyard, negate another. Okay, we will draw for turn. DP standby. Main one. Okay, Lurrie doesn't do really anything for us at this point. We don't want to link off our Chaos Angel. The Requiem is currently in the graveyard because we spun back Engraver with Engraver. Alright, we will go end main. Battle phase. I think we're supposed to punch over Unicorn. We'll go second main. There's nothing to be done out of our graveyard, and we will pass the turn. We are kind of in idiot zone. Our opponent is hoping to continue to top deck useful and powerful cards, and we are hoping to find a copy of Kiss a Kill at some point. If we find Kiss a Kill, we break the whole game open. Our opponent can continue to generate card advantage with this Kashtira Birth, because it's just a reborn that sticks around forever. So they can reborn their Fenrir to tutor for another unicorn, to reveal for Regenesis cards in their hand, to special summon them, if that's what they're looking for. And otherwise they can just tutor unicorn so that I have to go to battle phase before I get to the plays that I want to make. So this unicorn's going to tutor. And let's see, do they have anything interesting to tutor, or are they just tutoring for another birth? Because if they're playing Big Bang, we might be in trouble. Ooh, they're out of targets. They do not have any targets, so their activation previously was illegal, but it doesn't matter because I would have impermed it anyway. Kashtira Theosis. Special summon. Yep, okay. Alright, Theosis is really problematic because this means that they get the Fenrir. Yeah. And then Fenrir can tutor for Unicorn. And we don't have a clean out to this. Oh, they are out of tutor targets entirely. Alright, DP standby. Main one. Alright, so here we want to go to combat, punch over Fenrir, normal summon Kiss a Kill, or move to main 2, normal summon Kiss a Kill, activate Lilla in graveyard to special summon back. They'll trigger the Unicorn to loop a card out of my extra deck, probably loop the last Lilla, but that doesn't matter because we'll have access to the full twin line. Okay. End main, go to combat. We will punch over the Fenrir, because that is what is of concern to us. Go to second main. Normal summon Kiss a Kill. Lilla Sweet effect. Summon Sweet. They will Unicorn. We will show them our extra deck, and they're going to determine what they take. They probably should take Trouble Sunny here, actually. That would get them to... get me to a point where I do not have more interaction. Yep, that sounds about right. Okay, we have lost Deal, Boaku, and Trouble Sunny. Those are some pretty good ones for them to have ripped away. We'll link these two off into Evil Twin Kiss a Kill. We will go Evil Twin Kiss a Kill effect to special summon. This will grab Lilla. Lilla is going to pop Birth. And then from there, I could make another Kiss a Kill. I could make Agnum Day. I don't think Agnum Day matters. Yes, because we don't have Lurrie in hand. Agnum Day doesn't matter. Can Sequence get us to anything of value? Does Sequence get us anything that we want? No, because we don't have an Engraver in rotation right now. Muckraker definitely doesn't do anything that we want. Yes, I do believe that we are turning the two twins into Kiss a Kill. And main. And pass the turn. Alright, our opponent is going to draw for turn and continue onward. They are probably dead. If they top deck a Regenesis card, this Regenesis Sage will be really, really good for them. Because then my Kiss a Kill isn't online. We will let them... Okay, they've got stuff in draw phase, so... They should be acting in draw phase. If they have anything they can do here, they need to, because Kiss a Kill is main phase only. Regenesis Core. E-Telly. Yes. So this means that Sage is online. They summon Archfiend. Archfiend tutors Regenesis card. This is really bad for us. We do still have the Chaos Angel on board. Like, we're not out of it yet. There's Regenesis Lord. By banishing a phase-up monster, you control 2500 original attack and defense. Okay. Yes, you may move to main 1. Our opponent is going to immediately banish in order to summon Regenesis Lord. If this is a special summon, they set a Regenesis trap from deck. Let's see what they set. They're going to set Regenesis Birth on res. Let's go for Evil Twin Kiss a Kill. Our opponent probably wants to negate this with Sage, but that does mean that they're giving up the Regenesis Lord or the Regenesis Birth. I think that's what they said. I don't remember. These names are so... Yes, it is Regenesis Birth. They're so samey. Opponent thinking on what they want to do here. It is, again, a very sticky spot to be in, because Regenesis Sage does have to send the Regenesis Lord in order to negate and destroy. So, goodbye, Kiss-a-Kill. 'Twas nice knowing you. They do get a unicorn if they so desire, but it looks like they've forgotten about the unicorn once again. Okay. I will draw for turn. Draw phase standby. Of course, Birth is really bad for us, because it does just mean that they can get to continue to book the Chaos Angel. We're going to attempt to punch over the Kashtira unicorn. So they're going to activate Birth. They're going to mill over some Regenesis card. Sending Warrior. Okay. During opponent's end phase, if sending Engraver because of this turn, you can add it to your hand. I think that probably kills us. I believe we are out of ways to do this. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like our doom right there. Whew, that was a rough one. I'm gonna admit. So that was a bit of a rough game. Well, that was an interesting set of matches, wasn't it? We had a pretty interesting first game in the mirror match, where we had forgotten to play the Lurrie, which was really problematic, but ended up not mattering because we outground them, we drew better than them in Game 3, we just kind of had everything we needed to. Game 2 was kind of a nothing burger, or Match 2 was kind of a nothing burger match. We didn't really get to see anything our opponent's deck did. We didn't get to see anything our deck did. Our opponent just kind of scooped pretty quickly both times to a Droll and Lockbird after they tutored with the Ashoka Pillar. Now, Match 3 was incredible. That was a great showing of both Regenesis, which I hadn't accounted for because I had forgotten the cards existed. It's been so long since I played in the TCG actively. And it showed off exactly what the Regenesis deck is trying to do, which is grind your opponent just directly into the dust, take them off as many resources as you can, as quickly as possible. But it also showcased some of the strengths and weaknesses of the deck that we're playing. It showed just how easy it is to get to our mainline combos, how easy it is to continue to grind in the late game, and it showed the importance of having the 2 copies of Kiss-a-Kill and Lilla. So, you know, if your meta has a lot of Regenesis around, you probably want to be playing 2 of each of Lilla and Kiss-a-Kill in the extra deck. There's also an argument to be made to play the second Deal if you're really concerned about Regenesis, but I think you probably end up having to lose out on the Wave High King Caesar, so you'd cut the Caesar, you'd cut the Necroquip, you'd add Duke of Demise probably, and the second Deal, but that seems hedging a little bit too far in the wrong direction. You're kind of accounting too much for Regenesis, which is not a huge portion of the meta game. But it really showed just how fragile the deck can become when you don't have many resources. The deck is very reliant on having powerful non-engine, and while yes, I could have sideboarded a little bit better against my opponent, I probably should have brought in the SCMRs in order to interrupt their graveyard, to mess with the Birth, to steal a Fenrir, to steal a Unicorn. Any number of things would have been really powerful with SCMR. But even beyond that, it just shows you have to pilot the deck really well. I made a couple of rookie mistakes here and there, and that cost me that game. So, that was a wonderful game. Remember, folks, if you have enjoyed the video, please remember to like, especially since you got this far. Subscribe to continue to see this journey and continue to see me playing. Subscribe for more updates, comment what you liked or didn't like about this video. Do whatever you can. Boost the algorithm, whatever it is. I've got a few links in the description if you'd like to support me or if you'd like to chat with me further, more directly. And that will be all from me. Toodles!